Today we are talking about Day of the Dead, 1985. Choke on that. That was my best impersonation of Joseph Pilato, who stars in this movie alongside Loie Cardille and Terry Alexander. We are talking today about Day of the Dead, the third in the zombie trilogy that started with Night of the Living Dead, then Dawn of the Dead, concluding with Day of the Dead, and then George A. Romero never made another zombie movie. As the world is overrun by zombies, a group of scientists and military personnel sheltering in an underground bunker in Florida must decide on how they should deal with the undead horde. So first off, let's just talk about Joseph Pilato in this movie. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. It does not matter. I mean, I've always seen the clips. I've never seen this movie. He legitimately steals every scene he is in by just either looking like he is coming off of a bender. He looks like Ray Liotta at the end of Goodfellas when he's just like coked out of his mind. And I'm sure this movie came out in 1985. I'm sure cocaine played a large part in his role in this movie, but just A plus. Just every scene he is in, he just either goes with it in terms of disgust. He's just disgusted by everything happening around him, or he just screams at the top of his lungs,
I'm running this monkey farm now, Frankenstein, and I want to know what the fuck you're doing with my time.
Which I'm here for. This movie is, I will say this, Night of the Living Dead is a classic, right? I've seen that movie more than probably any zombie movie next to Shaun of the Dead. Movie's a classic. I think it's endlessly rewatchable. Then we get to Dawn of the Dead, which is a movie I just saw for the first time after always hearing about it, seeing the clips, seeing the, tributes and rip-offs of many, many scenes from those movies. That is the best movie of the three, just in terms of being a movie, right? So you have Night of the Living Dead, started a genre. Dawn of the Dead, the best movie for me personally of the three. But Day of the Dead is the best zombie film of the three. I really do think Day of the Dead is the culmination of George A. Romero and, more importantly, Tom Savini when it comes to zombie films. The culmination of everything they started, and they finish with, the gold standard of what a zombie movie should be. The zombies in this movie, right off the bat, the first zombie you see, you're just like, that is terrifying. That is like the stuff of nightmares. It's, you start with Night of the Living Dead, where they're kind of just, it's in black and white. You kind of just see little like blood or smudges, kind of on their cheeks. Then you go to Dawn of the Dead, and it's like, for some reason, they're like this bluish green hue, but also still kind of just blood here or there. Day of the Dead, you just see fully formed like nightmare zombies. Disfigurements, disformed. They're starting to now not even kind of look like humans, but look like zombie creatures or these things in between zombies and humans. It's terrifying. Every zombie in this movie looks terrifying. And not only that, but the zombie kills in this movie are some of the grossest things you're ever going to see, and I mean that as the compliment that it is. These are the zombie kills you want when you're watching a zombie movie. I just watched Wreck yesterday, and it's like, I didn't really even like how the zombies looked in that movie, but the movie itself was good. This movie is, again, a perfect zombie movie, and a perfect zombie movie in what I am personally looking for, which is great zombie kills. Everyone is terrified of the zombies. Nobody takes them lightly. And then the philosophical discussions around the zombies, because you look at Night of the Living Dead, and this is where it starts, right? This is the start of a zombie outbreak. You even have the townsfolk at the end of that movie kind of thinking they have it under control, right? They're going through the fields and all that kind of stuff, killing just random zombies here and there, and they think they got it. Dawn of the Dead shows they didn't have it. Now the world is overrun and people are just trying to survive. Day of the Dead shows we lost. humans are over. At one point, the Dr. Frankenstein character, my favorite character in the film outside of Joseph Pilato, at one point he just goes,
They let them overrun us. They have overrun us, you know. We're in the minority now. Something like 400,000 to 1 by my calculations.
This movie, it shows Night of the Living Dead the start, Dawn the middle, and this is the end. Day of the Dead, again, I made the joke that George A. Romero never made a zombie movie after this because he kind of really didn't need to. Like, we see the beginning, the middle, the end. Like, this is what humanity turns into, which is just there are scientists who are trying to solve the problem, trying to figure out a way to not even get rid of zombies, but at this point, they're like, let's just coexist with them. Let's just try to get to the point where we can walk around without being scared of being eaten by them, right? So we see this great interaction the entire movie between the bub, who is a zombie that is kind of reconnecting to his humanity a little and relearning things.
Say hello to your Aunt Alicia. Say hello, Aunt Alicia.
And then Dr. Frankenstein is rewarding those behaviors and kind of rehabilitating the zombie into being more human, where he puts his hand in front of his face and zombie doesn't even bite him. Kind of grabs it, looks at it, and then lets go. And you're like, okay, like his plan obviously is insane because Dr. Frankenstein's plan is to just reprogram every single zombie into being, I guess, creatures of war, creatures that they can use, creatures that they can, more importantly, control. As the Sarah character is kind of the buffer between the Dr. Frankenstein craziness and the Joe Pilato army general who is going slowly, if not already fully insane. There is just this great dichotomy where you just see like the world has devolved to the point where it's still run by the military and the government of some sort, but then they're just there to protect the scientists and the worker bees. Kind of the worker bees are the last of humanity, right? Just everybody. There's a great scene where one of the soldiers like, we don't even get paid to do this. Like, what are we doing this for? I don't even get a paycheck. The Joseph Pilato character, who is Captain Henry Rhodes. So Rhodes is just constantly being like, we can't afford to lose anybody. Like, we might be it. Like, my superiors and then us in this bunker. We might be the last humans on Earth. So the scientist aspect of this is, let's try to find a way to coexist with the zombies. The military aspect of it is, let's just try to find a way to wipe them all out. We're going to run out of bullets. We don't have enough ammo, which is said by Dr. Frankenstein. And it's just this push and pull of, do we try to eliminate them all? Do we try to coexist with them all? And then, spoiler alert, the end of the movie is, it's already over. The point of the movie at the end is, this is all pointless. It's done. The zombies won. At the end of the movie, the zombies are kind of the good guys. In this movie, it's the zombies are now just the dominant species on Earth, and humans are actually the outlier. So at the end of this movie, the scientist, the helicopter pilot, and the guy who the entire movie I was like, what is his job? The only thing he does is just drink from a flask, which again also illustrates how everything is pointless. Like, there is the best scene in the movie to me is when John and Sarah, John is the helicopter pilot, when John and Sarah are sitting in this thing they call the Ritz-Carlton. It was just like this really fancy trailer they've kind of decked out. And they're having this philosophical discussion about where Sarah is like, we have to find a way. You know, she's the scientist that thinks there has to be something they can do. And John is just sitting across from her going, listen, we're in this bunker specifically because the history of the world sits in this bunker. There's records that go as far as the eye can see for everything from plane crashes to our history to taxes. And then he says, we're just in a tomb. Like, this is where the history and the world of USA just dies. I love the just idea of the Sarah character. Her arc is she cares too much at the beginning to try to find a way to fix the problem. Her arc at the end of the movie is the problem's too big to fix, so might as well try to enjoy our lives while we have it. I love, 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 love the end of this movie where our three remaining main characters just head to an island. You see them fishing, you see them just sitting on a beach. Like, that's it. There's this kind of just uneasy feeling where all of the groups of people, from the scientist to the helicopter pilot to the random guy with the flask to the soldiers, all kind of know, outside of Dr. Frankenstein, all kind of know what they're doing is pointless, but they also think what they're doing is better than what the other groups are doing. And then at the end of the movie, you find out all of it's pointless. It's over. We lost. Like, might as well just go to a beach, kick back with a pina colada, and just wait for the whole thing to blow over. It's the best zombie movie I've ever seen. I still think Dawn of the Dead is a better movie, but if you're looking for one zombie movie like myself that you've never seen, it's Day of the Dead. It is just, it's bleak, it's uneasy, it's terrifying, and at the end of it, you're just like, what else can they do? What else would you do differently? Nothing, because you can't. It's over. This has been, I believe, day 10 of Halloween Hullaba Boo. I'm Will. Join me tomorrow for, I don't remember the next movie. I think it's Return of the Living Dead, which is not a George A. Romero film, but more of a homage that I've also never seen. So stick with me tomorrow. I'll see you then. Adios.